Now, talking about electricity, constant electricity, a complex issue in Nigeria plagued by systemic problems, infrastructural deficit, packed actions, and setting a stage for long-term solutions. Now, there's a growing emphasis for the adoption and use of other sources of renewable energy, particularly the wind, solar, and hydropower, to reduce the reliance on fossil fuels. Nigeria as a country has abundant solar radiation, making solar power a practical option and a practical choice for a practical option for rooftop installations and many more. Now, if I were a president, I would also ensure that the educational system is strengthened. Well, problems like infrastructure deficits, underinvestment, access disparities, and many more would be solved by ensuring that there is an improvement in the access, equity, and inclusivity in the educational system to all Nigerian citizens. Other problems like teachers' quality can be solved by recruiting and retention and training of professionals. To help us have better teachers to train these students to become better. Now, if I were the president, I would also focus on the healthcare system, because an healthy workforce is a productive one. So if I were the president, I would focus on the healthcare system. This will be achieved by ensuring there's equal access to medical facilities and equipment, ensuring that the prices and pays of all these medical services are affordable. You ensure that they are affordable, so not only the rich can afford medical bills, those that are average class and those that are less privileged too can afford these medical bills. Now, if I were the president, I will also ensure insecurity is brought to a minimum, or if possible, totally eradicated. Now, this can be achieved by investing in and increasing the funds for training, equipment, and personnel for police and other security agencies. I could also achieve this by investing in modern technologies for crime detection, surveillance, and communication. I could also achieve this by implementing intelligence-led policy strategies for predicting and preventing crime. Now, by addressing all these interconnected issues, Nigeria can gradually move towards a more reliable, sustainable, and economically viable electric, security, educational, and healthcare sector, unlocking its full potential. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fermi. That's very powerful. Let me come to Inioluwa. Let me hear you out. If I were president for a day.
Good morning, Managing Director of Wells Radio Station, DDCA, fellow students, esteemed audience, ladies and gentlemen. I am Inioluwa Kosoko, a student of Goldenberry College. I am sincerely grateful for this opportunity given to me on this innovative topic, if I were president for a day. To begin with, I will implement measures that would increase transparency and accountability and fight corruption in governance. Here's how. Public finances will be made transparent. A website will be launched providing real-time updates on national budget allocation, expenditures, and project implementation. This would enable citizens to track how their taxes are being utilized or used. Secondly, accountability and oversight. Measures will be put in place to ensure that government officials are held accountable for their actions. Furthermore, I will also look into and prioritize the less privileged by providing instant financial aid, because we all agree that everyone has a great idea, and I will help them by providing grants and helping them achieve their business idea and promoting the nation's economy and giving them a great source of income. Additionally, I will also look into the infrastructure sector by investing in digital infrastructure and supporting e-commerce, because technology has advanced in such a great way that will help groom our nation. And I'll also invest in the agricultural infrastructure by helping them provide simple farm machinery and other equipment or resources needed for farming to boost our economy and food security and production. One day is short, yes, but I believe one day in great hands can change the story of a generation. If I were president for a day, I wouldn't just sit in a big office. I would listen, serve, and direct to build a great nation. It is not how long you stay in a position, it's how deeply you impact. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fermi. And thank you, Fermi, and thank you, Inioluwa. Thank you so much. I mean, one key word, Mr. Sanusi, from Inioluwa, and I'm going to start from Inioluwa, is I'm not just going to sit in one big office. I am definitely going to listen because I know that the last administration, Nigerians complained greatly about the human face when we want the president to speak to us and speak to us emotionally and connect with us and not even read from paper. We still have that even up until now. But the last administration was on top of that table. And I'm glad to see that, someone like Inioluwa actually, captured that. She said something about agriculture, which is, we're hungry in Nigeria right now, whether we like it or not. I remember one headline, I think from April, the food basket of the nation, Benue. There's a major, state of emergency going on right today in agriculture. And if the food basket of the nation cannot feed itself, then I wonder what the nation stands on really. We're going to be hungry. Farami said something about electricity and power, education and healthcare, insecurity and the likes. Well, Mr. Sanusi, I want you to chime in quickly before we call the next school to the microphone.
Farami, your points are noted and your points are good. But if you are to be the president of this great country in a day, for example, do you think this can be done at once, or you're going to take it bit by bit or one by one? For example, you know what is happening in Nigeria now. You know what is happening economically, financially, social-wise, every otherly. Let me just put it that way. You get now. Do you intend to just put this thing on the table at once? You remember when I first made my introduction, I said you may have good government, or you may have good government and not have good leadership. And you may have good leadership and then not have, good government. So, do you intend to just do all these things as one, or you want to pick them one after the other?
Well, I intend on, like you said, having good employee.
Let's say workforce or good team. Let me put it that way, good team.
Yes, having a good team. Now, if I have a good team, that means I'm not the only one like having this plan, having this vision. We are together. If I have a good team, that means it's not only me focusing on these goals. It is me and my team. That means this team can also assist me in areas where I cannot reach, in areas where my hand cannot get to. Like, because in the country we're in a corrupt country, so even investing in most of these things doesn't mean what you are investing may get to or fix what you are trying to fix. But if I have a good team, I have good people working for me, like you said, all these things I'm saying will be achievable. All these things will be able to like happen. There will not be any problems or difficulties. They can all occur at once because I will have people that are assisting me and helping me. Yeah.
I actually like your point. When a country actually has the electricity power working well, you have education in good shape, healthcare in good shape, and then security. Then what else is everybody looking for?
What else is the
I
problem?
could remember when we were growing up, you could leave Ibadan at 6 p.m., 7, 8, and you get to your hometown or your school without any hitch. But now, for you to even travel from the south here to the north,
that's a lot.
It's a bottleneck.
That's a lot.
Your soul or your mind will be in your hand. Okay, what is going to happen next? What is going to happen? But if all these things are table, I think, what else is the country looking for? Nothing else. But if because this is like a chain now.
Definitely.
This is a chain. If there's constant electricity, the education is working well, the healthcare is working, but the security is dented. Is wahala. Even if your security is okay, the education is working, electricity is working, but there's no health, it's still wahala. You get what I'm saying? So all these things are changed, and they have to work interwovenly in order to gain a good country, or in order to access development like every other country is developing. Nigeria is still developing.
Absolutely.
We have not developed in every ramification. I'm bold to say that we have not developed. We are still developing, and I pray that God will get us, to where our promised land is. So let's move to Ini now.
Yes.
Ini also made some,
Some
salient points
yes.
that I really, really appreciate. Transparency is the main thing. Transparency, especially when it comes to finance. For example, I made a point. I said, I'm going to make governance less attractive. So if you're ready to serve and not ready to earn, you can come and work with
service.
me. Yes, it's about
Nothing
service.
more.
If you're not ready to serve, please delete yourself from my team. And that is where accountability comes in. Everything that is being spent will be accounted for. If you cannot account for it, either you will lock you up or you leave that position that you are. I love that point, because that is the main thing. If there's transparency, then we know what is coming in, we know what is going out. If we are going for any loan, we know what the loan is being used for. Now, most of the time we read in papers that we are going for a loan. Okay, where is that loan being directed to? Despite every money, every coin that is coming in every day from different parastatals. So, Inoluwa, you have a lot to do as the president of Nigeria.
A lot. Let me ask. I'm going to ask you. Okay, maybe I start from Ini. I know you said something about agriculture, and maybe I just ask you before I let you, take your seat on the other side. Do you have any of your friends that if you become president today? I'm very particular about agriculture, really, because you and I won't be here if we are hungry. That's the truth. Do you have any of your friends that if you become president today, just get that privilege, and you have to assign your minister? I remember one of our president, the last president, said, I'm going to elect people that I know. And it took him a while, to even get those people. Now that, you might be made president for a day, or if you were a president for a day, give me that one friend of yours, maybe from your school, that you'll make your minister of agriculture, and why. I'm going to ask you one of the points you made and who you will make the minister of whatever if you get that opportunity.
Okay.
Who is that person?
Wuraola Akinyade.
From your school?
No, she's not.
Okay. Why Wuraola Akinyade?
Because she's a very devoted person when it comes to anything related to agriculture. She loves to help. And I believe that if I'm a president for a day, I would not want to raise people who would deficit or spoil whatever I'm trying to build. I would need people who are devoted to serve. As Mr. Sanusi said, he said serving is, let me rephrase that, serving is not by force. It is a willing opportunity, a willing decision. And why I picked her was because our goal or our mindset is, I want to feed the country. I want to help people. I want to build people who are strong. And that is why I'll pick her for the agricultural sector, because she wants to feed the nation. The nation are hungry, I believe. And I believe whoever I'm going to use, I need someone who is ready to feed the people, who is ready to help the people. So that's why I chose her.
I love progressive friendship. I mean, at this stage, what class are you again? Sorry, Mr. Sanusi.
I'm in GSS 3.
Interesting stuff.
Wow. You chose Wuraola to be your Minister of Agriculture.
Yes, sir.
Does she just say this or make this statement, or you've seen her with something that has to do with agriculture or something? Maybe in a compound, in a school, or elsewhere?
I have seen her.
Okay.
Because there was a particular situation where we were holding a program, and at that point in time, we didn't have enough contributions. And Wuraola made the decision that she's going to feed us for that 3 days program. And I was actually surprised because none of us could bring up with that idea that, no, definitely, we can't feed all of them because we were much. But she made that decision that I'm going to feed you, and I'm going to make sure that all of you are well fed and make sure that all of you are okay. So that's why I pick her, because she's a trustworthy and devoted person to every promise she makes.
Shout out to Wuraola. We need you as the Minister of Agriculture in Nigeria.
I wish you could join us in the studio so that she can feed everybody.
Absolutely. Fermi, let me come to you. Your friend for Minister of Power, Mr. President Fermi Abiola. Who is going to be your Minister of Power? Any of your friends, either from your school or outside school, and why?
That would be Samuel.
Samuel.
Samuel Sukari.
Okay, from your school.
Yes, my
Why?
classmate.
Why Samuel? What class are you? The same class with?
No, SS2.
SS2. Okay. Why Samuel? Yeah.
Well, Samuel is the type of person that ensures anything he wants is perfectly done. No loopholes, no. It is when he starts something, it must be finished with perfection.
He's a perfectionist.
And in this electricity sector, we have many issues, not just one. So I need someone that will ensure that all these issues, none is left behind. There are no loopholes. Everything is catered for. Everything is tackled. No, there's nothing like, because there are a lot of issues concerned with this electricity. We have even the distribution. Electricity is lost during the distribution and transmission of light and power. So I need someone that will ensure that nothing like this is.
There's a call on this line, and I would like to take the person. It's been a while. Hello, good morning to you.
Bro, good morning.
Good morning. Let's take you very quickly.
You see, why I'm saying this is that if you are talking of agriculture,
Yeah.
because who supposed to head the minister as the minister of agriculture is supposed to be from the North Central, either Benue, just Benue. If you are talking of, that's why when you say my own, these people keep saying what is still happening. It's not even sticking on your head. If we say somebody from the Benue are producing what they are eating today,
Thank
it
you.
doesn't mean that they have died.
Thank
Because
you
they
so
know
much.
the in and out of that something we are producing.
All right.
What are we doing? Okay, the whole land in Yoruba land. The people who are here are foreigners, other states that are coming here to invest. Yoruba are not into the agriculture. How can that person know about agriculture? And
Thank you
let me
so much.
saying all this is.
These are
that
secondary
there is
school
nothing,
students,
because
by the way.
That's
These are.
what is killing us today. That's
these
why
are-
we find ourselves in this mess today.
Thank you
I will
so
not
much.
come.
Thank you
Look
so
at
much.
Muslim. Nigeria is not a Muslim country.
All right. So
It's like all problem is come from you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time. These are secondary school students, by the way, so they are not government officials. All right? So we don't mix it up. Today is children's, and I totally understand our caller too.
Yes.
You know, that's a very critical. But thank you so much, Ferami and Iniolua. Thank you so much. Let me call in the next school because of our time. A new school just joined us, and we have just 30 minutes. Trust me, if we stay here for the next 3 hours, we're going to be, chatting with
Dissecting
you
and
all.
bisecting.
Yes. So let me bring in Prominent Heights College while we, bring in Christ Ambassadors International College also very quickly. Christ Ambassadors International College. We also bring them in. So we're going to be speaking with Prominent Heights in, say, another 10 minutes and possibly assess all of, that together. And at 12 o'clock, the news at 12 will be coming in, and Christ Ambassadors International College will be taking the news at 12, and Community Grammar School, Oluyole Estate here, will be taking the Yoruba version of the news. Gentle ladies, I call you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I have Olawale Toluwalashe. Is that your name?
He's not here.
Okay, Blessing, right? You're
No.
Blessing. Okay, so let me let you introduce yourself.
My name is Ajemi Wuraola.
Okay, Adeyemi Wuraola, and we have Lucas Victoria.
Yes, sir.
All right, Victoria. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for coming. So let me start with Wuraola, and I love your smile, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, Wuraola, I'll start with you. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Wuraola Adeyemi. I'm a student of Ibadan Prominent Heights College, located at Plot 7, Block 8, Alafin Avenue, Noliole Estate. So, if I were to be given the opportunity of being the president for a day, it would be a platform for change.
Shenyo.
As a thought experiment,
Platform for change.
imagine holding the highest office in Nigeria, even if only for 24 hours. What changes would you implement? What priorities would you focus on? With the immense power and influence that comes with presidency, even a single day could be transformative. From addressing pressing economic challenges to implementing innovative for social issues, the potential for impact is vast. As Nigeria's leader for a day, I would launch a national rebate initiative by mandating compulsory unity classes in schools, creating a youth reconciliation corps to build ethnic divides, and establishing a rotating presidential task force with representatives from all regions to govern for 24 hours, proving shared power works like also proving the last lines of Wole Soyinka's The Leader and the Lead. Additionally, I would enforce radical transparency. I would mandate open contracting, real-time budget tracking, and instant assets declaration for all officials. I would institutionalize transparency before sunset. I would compel full assets disclosure, digitize all government spending, and jail one high-profile looter publicly, providing accountability starts at the top. As Nigeria's president, I reconstruct public school buildings. These public schools are government-owned and they serve the general public. And I see that the government, after building these schools, do not care about them anymore. They feel like, oh, they have helped these students. And if you check most of them, you see that they even learn under the sun. They don't have a single roof. Most don't have a single roof over the heads of the children. And it's not advised anywhere that children should learn in the sun. So why should you not help them? I'm a child like them, but because they're in public schools, they feel like nobody's helping them. I'll provide free books in the primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions, and I'll provide scholarship programs. By doing this, I'll be breaking some of the major barriers to education. I'll distribute free digital tablets to all students and ensure that lots of teachers are retrained. My emergency tourism plan will introduce visa on arrival for African nationals and 48-hour e-visas for global tourists, deploy special tourist police units to 20 key heritage sites and beaches, convert 10 abandoned government properties into boutique hotels via PPP deals, partner with Netflix or YouTube to showcase Nigeria's hidden gems through documentaries. Dare fiercely, act swiftly, because one day's courage can rewrite centuries. Until next time, stay revolutionary.
Thank you so much, Miss President.
Thank you.
Your Excellency. All right, let me come to Victoria. Let's have you quickly.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Lucas Victoria, and I'm here to talk about if I were the president for a day. So under this, I have a blueprint for change. As a concerned Nigerian citizen, I always love to imagine what it would look like if I were the president for a day, the changes I will make, what I will do, and I will make sure Nigeria doesn't just grow, it does gymnastics. So before diving into my hypothetical presidency, I sat down and wrote down all Nigerians' problems. So among them, we have economic instability, insecurity, decay in infrastructure, deficiency in sports, and others. So I'm picking just 3 of these points to talk about. So my very first act as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is tackling corruption. So I always love to imagine a Nigeria where opportunities are based on talent and not connection. A Nigeria where civil servants serve without being forced to. Corruption is like a bad haircut. At first, it looks good, but then with time, its errors, its flaws becomes very obvious for all to see. So the corruption here in terms of money laundering, bribery and corruption, and others. So my act is against this as the president is to ensure a very effective anti-corruption agency. There are anti-corruption agencies and which everyone knows, but to make them more effective is either we remove those at the top and replace them with people that will do a more effective job or do something else. And also the protection of whistleblowers will be made very important. The whistleblowers of our country will be protected. That is, there will be a law proposed against illegitimate arrest of the whistleblowers. My next act is ensuring security and stability. The situation of security in Nigeria is nothing to talk about. In Nigeria, insecurity is secure. Kidnapping is a business model. and bandits, they seem to have better models than the military. My own act against this is boosting the morals of our soldiers, of the armed forces. So I'm talking about in terms of providing scholarship programs for their children, making sure that after their retirement they have a well pension. That is, I might increase their salaries. Then making sure that widows of deceased soldiers, there are support programs to cater for them. What else? That's all that I can do for them.
Thank you so much, Victoria. We listened to Wuraola Adeyemi and Lucas Victoria, and to be honest, one major takeaway from my takeaway from Wuraola, major one is the visa and the international diplomacy. Carrying a green passport right now.
Mine is construction of public schools.
Oh, construction of I mean,
highly interested in that.
Carrying a green passport right now is a lot, and I love that. Thank you so much, Ms. President.
Ms. President.
And for Victoria, for me, that would be the military. I know 2 Saturdays ago on the roundtable, you still had that conversation.
Yes.
You know, about ensuring that the military, you don't just get injured or die on the field and your family suffer. Go to the barracks today. You can tell. And for me, it shows that you guys are really involved and are seeing what's going on in Nigeria. Thank you. We're going to analyze all of that together. Let me bring in Christ Ambassadors International College very quickly. And if you're just joining us, it's still the Children's Day Special on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. And we have bright minds. If you have been following the conversation, you would agree with me that we have bright minds in the studio. Future presidents, and in all sense of it, because they truly know what they want to do based on what we have on ground in the nation today. And with me in the studio to analyze, their manifestos, so to say, is Mr. Sanusi, and he's been doing a great job with that. For the next 10 minutes, 5 minutes, let's speak to Christ Ambassadors International College. How are you? Good morning. Let me start with ladies first to say. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you, sir.
All right, speak into the microphone. Thank you. All right, your name and if you were president for a day. Talk to me in 5 minutes.
I am Oshindina Olua from Larry, a student of Christ Ambassadors International College. Here to talk to you about what I would do if I was the president for a day. If I was the president of Nigeria for a day, I would first identify the problems facing the country, and my focus would be on how to tackle and solve these problems. You would agree with me that just because you've tackled a problem doesn't mean you're going to be able to solve it. You need to actively understand the situation and think of ways in which you can change that situation for the better. Some of the challenges facing Nigeria include economic challenges, security issues, social challenges, governance issues, and so much more. All these are capable of giving birth to other minor problems, and this is why they must be tackled. I feel like you would agree with me that all these cannot be solved in a day, which is why I will tackle only 2 to ensure that those 2 are thoroughly and properly dealt with. Because if I tell the citizens that I am going to tackle all the problems of Nigeria and solve them, they will not believe me.
In one day.
Yeah, they would think I'm speaking nonsense.
Right.
My first concentration as the president of Nigeria is to foster economic growth by promoting small businesses, innovation, and fair labor practices. The bedrock for the growth and development of any country is a buoyant economic system. And as the president, I will support policies that ensure workers' rights, fair compensation, and robust labor protection. I will create jobs, increase wages, and reduce income inequality. One problem we face right now is people think, one job is superior to the other, or 2 people being in the same field, I'm a male, I'm a female, I'm meant to be earning more than you, and stuff like that. That is one major problem I think we face in this country, and something that needs to be taken care of. Nigeria mainly focuses on petroleum, and it's a country blessed with so many mineral resources. And we should be able to use all those mineral resources for different streams of income. Focusing mainly on petroleum is not sustainable for our economy. We should go into agriculture and other things to have many streams of income for our country. I will diversify the economic structure in a way that there will not be concentration on petroleum alone. Nigeria is a country blessed with several mineral resources, and we can make use of these resources to boost the economic system. More so, if I was the president of Nigeria for a day, I will fix the issue of insecurity in the country. A lot of Nigerians now, especially those in rural areas, have to sleep with one eye open because they are scared something's going to happen to them, something's going to happen to their children, to their husbands. And it's terrorizing us a lot in this country. We don't feel safe. There's no safe place in our own country. We feel terrorized. We feel unsafe. We feel like there's no one we can talk to. There is nobody to solve the problems for us, which is one thing I would like to stop if I were the president. Currently, terrorists have taken over the country. But as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I would put measures in place so that Nigerians can sleep with both eyes closed, without having to worry that something is going to happen to them. I will strengthen security agencies by improving training, equipment, and welfare for security personnel. I will also encourage community policing that will foster trust between societies and security agencies. A lot of us now believe that police are scammers. All they want is money. I'll be going home. Instead of the police to be doing their job, they'll be hailing my dad. Hey, Baba Afa. They'll be telling all that just because they want money, which no one really trusts them because all they think they want is money. So we need to train them to have a mindset of not just money, but a mindset of the welfare for the citizens and the country at large. I will address underlying issues like poverty, inequality, and lack of opportunities that contribute to insecurity. With all these put in place, I know that Nigeria will be free from communal clashes, banditry, insurgency, kidnapping, and terrorism. One main thing that I will put into consideration is the God factor, because without God, none of this would be possible. So the first person that I will go to before I start any of this is God. Prayer is the answer to everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Your name again, I missed that.
Oshundino Oluwafumileri.
Oshundino Oluwafumileri. Thank you so much. My takeaway, Mr. Sanusi.
I know you're going to... Point of correction, please. Yeah. President. Your Excellency, man. Thank you so much. Small, medium-scale enterprise.
Yes. Because there's a lot. It's a wide gap in Nigeria.
Yes.
You want to do business, and it's on a small scale, access to loans and all of that. And I love the fact that you are real. I can't deal with all of the issues in one day. Thank you so much. I'm sure state police will probably be yours.
Yes.
Community policing.
Yes, because, we usually talk about division of labor. We all learned it in primary school and secondary school. You get, if we are to produce a biro now, somebody will produce the ink, the cover, the ball, and everything. If only one person does this, we cannot have many. But if we can share this thing, and that is how it works with community policing, state policing, which everybody has been agitating for. I feel that will be better, and that's a very salient point for us in this country.
Let's come to the gentleman president, Mr. President. Your name and your statement if you become president.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo, and today I'm here to talk about what I would do if I was president for a day. So firstly, we need to understand the position we hold as president if I were to be president. We need to understand that the president is the highest ranking official in the country. He's the head of the executive at the federal level, correct? In Nigeria, you see, the president performs both ceremonial and executive functions because Nigeria runs on the presidential basis. You see, the primary function of every government is to cater for the welfare of the citizen. And I am sure if I was to be president, that every citizen were to be accounted for. You see, if I were the first citizen of this great nation, my focus would be on key areas that benefit the nation. Firstly, is the improvement of the grassroots areas. You see, there are so many talented individuals we have in this country. So many people have great talent, skills, but what's the problem? They don't have the areas or places to showcase these abilities. You see, but if I were president, I make sure that every single citizen has the chance to show what they have, or show what they can do, show what they can contribute to the welfare of our country. I also believe that I will intensify every effort to solidify the security system we have in the country, because insecurity is one of our biggest threats in this country. You see, as Fumilari said, most Nigerians can't even sleep with one eye closed. You see, places abroad, most countries, people there don't even have gates. They just lock their doors and call it a night. But over here, some people I've seen some places that have like 10, 15 padlocks on their gates. Wow. What? To protect what? Insecurity is so bad. And that leads me to my next point. Religious clashes. In this country, we have so many religions. Christianity, Islam, ATR, whatever religion you choose to support. We need to understand that we are all one. We are all created and we are all together in this. We can't just come and start saying, oh, my religion is better than yours. It's either you follow me or you don't. We need to understand that we are one people. We are one nation. Because we are one country. We are just Nigeria. We are not different states. The group of all the states together is known as the Federation, known as Nigeria. So we need to make sure that religious clashes are stopped. And as president, I'm sure that I could have been able to stop this, making peace between different cultures, different tribes, different nations, different religions, in order to sustain this. I believe that if I can promote a good economic structure and ensure a nation free of terrorists, because we have different terrorist groups like the Boko Haram and so many others, we need to make sure that we are protected, we are safe. And I'm sure if I'm able to do this, Nigerians would definitely want me to stay in office for more than just a day. And since the topic is about what I could do in a day, we have to understand that truly not everything is possible within a day. But you see, this kind of things take time. But definitely, if I could do this in a day, believe me, there would be a sure difference. And thank you for your time. So I have to say.
Thank you so much, Ayo Tunde, right?
Ayo Kunle.
Thank you so much, Ayo Kunle. Very beautiful. Can we give them a round of applause, please? For all of them, actually. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Thank you so much. Mr. San, for Ayo Kunle, I think my takeaway will be the religious clashes. Because I still think it's a dent on the image of Nigeria, most especially the international community. There are states in Nigeria that when you Google them today, what will pop up, it's about insurgency, terrorism, and when you trace it critically, aside when we now started having herdsmen clashes and the likes, it's usually characterized by lack of religious tolerance, really. And I think it's one thing we should work on in Nigeria. Let me come to Mr. Sanusi quickly.
When I was rounding off his point, what came to my mind is what every other person has said. Everybody made a salient point on security. I could remember when we were growing up, you could easily leave your house unlocked, go out and return with nothing stolen. Now, you could leave your parents' house to go to your school by trekking 3 kilometers. Your father or mother will not know you were in school until when you return in the afternoon. Because there was no phone, there was nothing. But they knew you were safe. But now, your mother will send you on an errand, she will still have to look after you. Is she going? Is she coming? That is how to tell you, how terrible security situation has become. Now, look at the younger ones growing up. The ones that are giving birth to today already know that there's insecurity in the land.
Absolutely.
Everybody's talking about security. What class are they? I don't think there's anybody necessary here. No, there's nobody necessary.
Necessary should be writing WAEC.
Yeah, they should be writing WAEC. Yeah. So if you bring in primary school students today, they will still talk about insecurity. You should bring in GSS students today, they will still talk about insecurity. So everybody knows that, this country...
Before we started the conversation, I shared with Chukwemeka just last weekend, I was somewhere in Ibadan and, a policeman passed with a gun and a little boy said to the mother, "Mommy, I don't want the policeman to shoot me."
Can you imagine?
A little boy, and if I assess that boy's age, it shouldn't be more than 4 or 5 years. Very little boy. So it's a concern. So if they know, and a 5-year-old knows that there is something about the policeman can shoot me, then we must work on it. We must. It's a big, major concern. And I know that, our leaders listen to radio. And today being Children's Day, I mean, that's why I said go to our Facebook page and watch. This is not Ayo speaking. This is not Chukwemeka. These are young Nigerians
who understand what is going on in the country.
Who actually understand. And you can see on the faces of their teachers that they are also quite impressed themselves to see that these children actually, they feel their pulse. When your teacher gets to school and your teacher is actually sweating and auntie saying, I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry. And you truly understand that she's under pressure. She needs to watch her children just like your parent want to watch after you and all of that. I mean, let's commend them. I give you a round of applause again. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can give, say, a child or two the opportunity at home if you are listening to the show. And you also want to talk to us in 1 minute if you get the opportunity to become president for a day.
What will you do?
That if you can dial the number very fast to pull in into the studio, 0915 333 893, 0915 333 893. Again, 0915 333 893. As we gradually approach 12 o'clock, the news at 12 will be coming in, and Christ Ambassadors International College will be taking the news in English, and Community Grammar School, Luyele State here, will also be taking the news in Yoruba language. Mr. Sanusi, I want you to give your final thoughts, just to capture what all of these, great minds have shared with us today.
Well, first off, every May 27th, children are being celebrated, and that is why this program came up. And then one of the things we do on this program is to, when we bring in the students or the children to come and say their mind, is to remind the government at federal level, state level, and local level what should be done so that the country can be governable, what should be done so that there can be progress in the city or in the land. That is what we have done. And I hope the government is listening to this, and the government will also watch this later. Absolutely. So that they will know the step to take. Children are innocent. They say things as they are. They say things as they see them. And whatever is being said on air or off air, once they say it, it's like an egg. It can never be unsaid. So I think government should take steps to see to the direction of this student and every other Nigerian and do the needful so that Nigeria can become more peaceful.
More peaceful. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Sanusi. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right, so let me quickly appreciate the following school, Golden Barrel College. I appreciate Abiola Ferami. Thank you. Please let's give Abiola Ferami a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Abiola Ferami. Thank you. Kusoko Iniolua. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also from Ibadan Prominent Heights College, Adeyemi Wuraola. You're welcome. Lucas Victoria. You're welcome. Also from Christ Ambassadors, we have Ayo Tunde, and I missed your name again. I'm so sorry.
Oshindero Oluwafumileri.
Oluwafumileri. Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for all of them. Thank you so much. And we look forward, to seeing what you'll make of all of this. Not just, when you become president, really. In another, say 1 or 2 years, depending on your class, some of you will be graduating and getting into the ivory towers, to the universities. And we truly want to start seeing them, because the future of Nigeria really lies in our hands. And I say this, that yes, we march to the polls, we elect our leaders, but we also have our path to play. Some of us still dump the refuse and we throw them outside of the window. Some of us still, do things that will really not make Nigeria proud. Some of us now, when they ask you, are you a Nigerian? You probably want to, but the truth is you're Nigerian, whether we like it or not. And our responsibility is to make Nigeria proud. Thank you so much, Ayo State. That's our Children's Day special talk show today. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. The news at 12. We'll be live in a moment. Stay with us.
Listening to the same old content? Tune in to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, the only radio other radio stations listen to.